If one is nice, two is better. Two recruits in the same day from the same place. Let's talk about that second one now and what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn football team. War Eagle, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. As you're watching or listening today, be sure to drop a comment down below about this particular topic. We always want to hear your thoughts as you're listening to ours. Before we get started, I would love to share with you about someone we just started partnering with. You probably heard of the Alumni Hall stores, and specifically the Auburn ones. If you're an Auburn fan, we're now proud to be an affiliate of theirs, and we'd love to have you support us by supporting them. Please do visit the link, the first one in the description, to start checking out all the great things they have for you there as an Auburn fan, and we'll be talking a lot more about them in the coming content across all of our different platforms. You know, it's not uncommon to get two commitments in the same day. In fact, Hugh Freeze has been doing that a lot, but to get them from the exact same school, guys who are actually just teammates there, that's pretty cool and unique story in and of itself. We are now talking about our brand new commitment at the linebacker position from North Texas, Larry Nixon III. He comes in as a graduate and will have 1 year of eligibility to use here at Auburn. He becomes the 18th total transfer in this cycle and the 6th so far in the spring session of that portal. Let's start off by talking about the timeline of events that brought us to the point of his commitment. And we got to go way back to 2017 when his recruitment process started, and he committed in the summer of 2017 before officially signing and enrolling eventually to begin playing in the 2018 season for North Texas. He did redshirt in his first year, but played all the way through for the next 4 years until he graduated and decided with his final year of eligibility to be able to go somewhere else. Entered the transfer portal on April 28th, took a visit to Auburn just a few days before commitment, and now we know the rest of the story. Now let's talk about this particular player so you know what he's bringing to Auburn. Originally from North Richland Hills, Texas, another Texas guy, and played for Richland High School. Originally coming out of high school as a 2-star prospect, but has since risen up to a 3-star prospect as a transfer. He's listed at about 6'2", 236 pounds, and a linebacker, obviously, but he has a lot of background, even dating back to high school, as an outside linebacker. Now let's talk about some stats for Larry Nixon from the North Texas website. You'll see that listed below right now. We're just going to look at his overall numbers, but you can look at the full picture here if you'd like to. So let's take a look at that. 45 total games played during his time at North Texas. During that time, 246 total tackles, and 120 of those were solo ones. Also, I'll point out 2 pass deflections and 2 forced fumbles. Really good mix, a variety of what he's been involved in as a defensive player, and now you got an idea of what he's bringing to Auburn. Now let's talk about some storylines around the commitment. Supposedly, if I have the story correct, or at least the conventional thinking is that Larry Nixon was supposed to be the first North Texas commit of that day. Jair Shorter got in on the action first. We've already talked about him in a previous video, so please go check that out if you haven't, but happy to have both of them. Just a little interesting dynamic there. We are continuing to see a rebuild and a replenishing of this roster at all positions, and this one is a good helping bridge the gap as we build up that foundation with younger talent below having him here for one particular year. And interestingly enough, in this very successful spring cycle, this is only the second defensive player that we've taken thus far. Now that you know a little bit about the player, let's talk about what it means for Auburn football, and we'll start with numbers discussion. Overall, for the 2023 class, this is now 39 commitments. It's a huge class, both from the high school recruiting and from the transfer portal. This is the 21st overall at defense, and now the 3rd traditional linebacker. There's been a few that could possibly also be considered linebackers, but 30 traditional linebackers so far. Now let's talk about his playing opportunities when he arrives at Auburn finally. He has a lot of experience, so you got to think that gives him a leg up in terms of earning significant playing time, if not having a good shot at starting when he arrives on campus. In terms of departures, spots that he could be filling, you've lost names recently like Cameron Brown, Desmond Tisdale, and even Powell Gordon. But you've got names that are still here, like Eugene Asante. You've got Robert Woodyard, who's a young talent, but even familiar names like Cam Riley and also Wesley Steiner. And on top of that, the other two commitments that are part of this class, very young talent still too, you got Austin Keys and also Demario Talon, who are part of this class too. So overall, really full class with a lot of talent, but I feel like he's going to be playing significantly. Let's mention where he comes from, because it's always important in terms of building pipelines in our recruiting processes, and two in the same day is nice, two from the same college is nice, but they're both originally from the state of Texas, and we've already mentioned before how important Texas is in terms of a recruiting pipeline. You want to go in there and dip into that huge talent pool. This is now the 5th person that we have taken from the state of Texas in this class. Some of the names that you'll be familiar with are Dylan Wade, CJ Johnson, and obviously his particular teammate from North Texas in Jair Shorter. And finally, what does this specific commitment mean for the 2023 class at the linebacker position? As it stands with his commitment, there's approximately 8 guys on the roster at the linebacker spot, the true linebacker positions. And obviously we've talked about this is the 3rd overall in the transfer portal that we've taken at this position. So while this is an area where we don't have a ton of spaces that we need to fill, it wouldn't be out of the realm of the possibility for us to take one more person. And I kind of feel like I've been saying that a lot with some of these guys, but it really is what Coach Hugh Freeze has been saying. If somebody can help us, we're going to bring them in. So that's my thoughts on your brand new linebacker commit, Larry Nixon III. Would love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that to be entered into that subscriber giveaway we have ongoing right now, and you need to be subscribed because that's part of the process too. And as always, check out those links in the description for ways that you can help support Alumni Hall and us here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.